Hello and welcome to another episode of This Camera Sucks, This Computer Sucks. I'm your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM. It's 7:30. It's the 20th day of June 2021. Still recovering from last week's surgery. Had a fever last night, but feeling okay. You don't care. You're not here for the updates to my health. You're here for the news because it's Monday. So let's take a look at what's going on in the gaming world. What's going on in the gaming world? TSR or Wizards of the Coast. They did something. Somebody did something and somebody's upset. Oh my God, really? It's just two sides of the same coin. Wizards of the Coast can't do anything without upsetting somebody. TSR can't do anything without upsetting somebody. Weird. Almost reminds me of something. Somebody's job was to just piss people off no matter what they did and get a reaction from the crowd no matter what they did. But no, there's nothing in the history of history where that's ever happened, right? Or is there? Weird. Okay, so I'm sure there's something going on in the world of our hobby that doesn't relate to Wizards of the Coast or TSR and the controversy or anti-controversy, or I don't even know anymore. I just literally do not know. This is either utterly insane or fucking brilliant. Sort of frightening when you think about it. Anyways, let's take a look at the news that isn't related to this nonsense. If there is any. And there might not be. Spells of Ages is being put out by EN Publishing. This is 38 new spells, new wizard subclasses, another new stuff for 5e, and their retro 5e clone, 5e level up, or whatever they're calling it. We have an adventure from EN Publishing called Mr. Kite's Flying Circus, a D&D type thingy about adventurers going up against a circus, because nothing sells like spooky circuses. We have finally a demo up of the Awful Cheerful Engine, the number one pushed product of the gaming industry recently. God, I hope this thing lives up to its press. The TSR thing has happened. We've discussed that in length, and I don't really want to discuss it again because I just don't. Okay, so we know. Oh, this was kind of cool. I may want to pick this up. I don't know. So we know that the Magic: The Gathering Adventures in the Forgotten Realms core set is coming out. Maybe this week. I need to go to the store and see. There is a 5-part adventure series being promoted for the expansion. It's the adventure for characters 8 to 10. It's available as a free download, with each adventure ranging about 15 to 20 pages. We don't have a lot of information yet, but we do know that this is available. The first adventure will be available tomorrow, and that adventure will induce planeswalking into Dungeons and Dragons. Plus some new information on the cards for the Forgotten Realms expansion. This looks interesting. I mean, I'm never going to play Wizards Magic: The Gathering ever again, but these cards are kind of cool, and the module looks cool. I mean, even though it's a D&D 5e adventure, I like the stuff I'm seeing. And the cards will make great props because so even if you don't play Magic: The Gathering, like they're saying, there's still reasons to get this because there's some art blocks that are going to be in the cards of classic D&D monsters and classic D&D things. So over 80 of the cards, in addition to being Magic cards, are going to be like Monster Manual / Magic item flip cards, which, is brilliant for great props. So even if you don't play Magic, you can use these for props in your D&D or any fantasy game. That's cool. Flying Buffalo has announced that they are being sold to an undisclosed buyer. And some of, if not all, the products that are currently available are going to be taken off of drive-thru. So if you are a fan of Tunnels and Trolls, Flying Buffalo Games, and you want to grab the product before it disappears, head on over to drive-thru or head on over to Humble Bumble and grab them. Artisolian has announced an audiobook of the classic Game Master Advice sourcebook for Cyberpunk 2020. Listen up, you primitive screwheads, which I think I play tested some. So it's basically an audiobook of somebody reading through and dramatizing. Listen up, you primitive primitive screwheads. Oh boy. Wow. This is interesting. It's got some great advice for running Cyberpunk and just generally great advice for running anything. It should be fun to listen to. Mofetus has released Anomalies, a third free supplement for the Star Trek Adventure as part of their Briefs line. So, yeah, these are just adventures for the Star Trek role-playing game. The virtual tabletop bundle from Humble Bundle is a godsend to anyone playing tabletop role-playing games online, and that bundle is still going strong and benefits the Navy and Marine Corps. There's also a Return to Cosplay bundle, a collection of instructional books that cover everything from sewing hairstyles to wigs, props, armor, fake boobs, and more. Everything you need for cosplaying. That doesn't seem to be supporting any charity. And if you want to learn more about coding and how to build video games, there's a Humble Bundle with $1,250 worth of instructional books and videos. That one benefits the charity Girls Who Code and runs through July 1st. And and of course the main news is the whole TSR thing and who's supporting TSR, who's not supporting TSR. My computer is dying. I can't believe this thing's not even I bought this, a year ago? And it's already falling apart, piece of shit. Don't let your friends talk you into buying a laptop. Laptops suck. So we know that several people are distancing themselves from TSR because of what TSR/EGG said. And the fact that the people that are behind EGG are doubling down on what EGG said, no matter how ridiculous it was. And I could get into it. Really, it's the kind of thing that no matter what I say, I'm going to piss somebody off. When really, I don't have a dog in this fight. And frankly, I don't care about TSR. Here's a shock. I never cared about TSR. I never cared about Wizards of the Coast. They're just people who made product for the game I was playing. And 90% of the time when I was playing D&D in the TSR days, other than owning a player's handbook and maybe a Dungeon Master's Guide, most of the shit was just, we played. If there was something out that we liked from TSR, you bought it. If there's something out that came out from another company that you liked, that you thought you were going to use, you bought it. Did you care? No, because I was 12. I didn't care. Now I'm older than 12 and TSR is doing stuff and I don't care. I literally do not care. Is it going to do anything to change the gaming industry whatsoever? No. No, it's not. Anybody who believes otherwise, you're stupid. It's not going to change. The gaming industry is what it is because of millions and millions of factors that have happened. Not because Wizards of the Coast saved D&D, not because Critical of the Role saved D&D, not because of what I say or don't say or what I get right or don't get right. These are all factors that go into a larger thing. And that thing is what D&D is today and what role-playing is today and what 5th edition is today and what TSR is today. And it's millions and millions of factors that have gone in to create the reality as it is today. So there's really nothing's going to change D&D. The only thing that's going to change is if somebody makes a paradigm shifting game that gets enough press recognition, changes the industry enough to actually make a difference. And the last time that happened was what? GURPS? Say what you will, it changed the paradigm. 4th edition and Pathfinder, say what you will, it changed the paradigm. Critical Role, it changed the paradigm. Doesn't matter if I like it or I don't like it, which we know I don't. I have to acknowledge it changed the paradigm. So is this going to be the next paradigm shift in our hobby? I don't think so. Is it going to change D&D? I don't think so. Are these guys going to make a product that's going to completely rewrite the reality of our hobby? I seriously doubt this. Are these guys going to milk all the heat they're getting? Of course they are, because they'd be foolish not to. So I could go into a thing about all the people that are saying positive things about TSR, all the things that people saying are negative of TSR, what TSR and Gygax actually said, all the people who are like doubling down and supporting what Gygax said, all the people who are doubling down and saying, I want nothing to do with what they just said. I could get into that. This could be a rabbit hole we could never escape. Or I could just say, you know what, unless they actually do something, I don't really care. Except they're in the news and they have me talking about them, which I suppose at the end of the day is all that matters. It's almost as if their job is to draw attention to themselves. It's almost as if they want people cheering them or booing them or paying attention to them, as if they're stirring the pot just to stir the pot. It's almost as if. It reminds me of something. I'm not sure what, but it reminds me of something. Somewhere in the back of my head, I'm pretty sure we've seen this before, as if there was an individual or a group of individuals whose job it was simply to draw attention to themselves and get people talking about them. But who? I mean, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of who it was. Or maybe I'm wrong. If you believe, put a man on the moon, man on the moon. Your job is to draw attention to yourself. Nope. Anyways, that's the gaming news, such as there is. I know there's not a lot, because, well, there is a lot, but there's not a lot of gaming news that doesn't directly or indirectly relate to TSR this week. Why is there not a lot? Because we're going into convention season. So that's really the thing you should be focusing on, not TSR. Why is there so little actual product coming out? And why is there so little actually going on in the industry other than Wizards of the Coast TSR? That's the thing that I'm concerned about. It's convention season. We should be seeing a lot more stuff than we actually are. Think about it. I'm your grumpy guy to all things gaming. If you appreciate this content, you know what to do. Like, share, surprise, comment down below. Let me know your opinion on what you think's going on in the world of gaming. And until next time, have a great day. Stay healthy. Don't get old. Dear God, don't get kidney stones. Stay sane. Stay off my land. I will talk to you later, Steve. If you believe, put a man on the moon. Man on the moon. Weird.